It was now 2 days before the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to arrest him by stealth, and kill him. But they said, "Not during the feast, lest there be a tumult of the people." While he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at table, a woman came with an alabaster flask of very costly ointment of pure nard. She broke the flask and poured it over his head. But there were some who said to themselves indignantly, "Why was the ointment wasted like this? For this ointment might have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor." They reproached her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you. Whenever you want, you can do good to them. But you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for burying. Truly, I say to you, wherever the gospel is preached in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her." Then Judas Iscariot, who was one of the 12, went to the chief priests in order to betray him to them. When they heard it, they were glad. They promised to give him money. So, he sought an opportunity to betray him. On the first day of unleavened bread, when they sacrificed the Passover lamb, his disciples said to him, "Where will you have us go and prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He sent 2 of his disciples, and said to them, "Go into the city, and a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him. Wherever he enters, say to the householder, 'The teacher says, where is my guest room, where I am to eat the Passover with my disciples?' He will show you a large upper room furnished and ready. There prepare for us." The disciples set out and went to the city and found it as he had told them. They prepared the Passover. When it was evening, he came with the 12. As they were at table eating, Jesus said, "Truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me, one who is eating with me." They began to be sorrowful, and to say to him one after another, "Is it I?" He said to them, "It is one of the 12, one who is dipping bread into the dish with me. For the Son of Man goes as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that man if he had not been born." As they were eating, he took bread, and blessed, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, "Take, this is my body." Then he took a cup. When he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. He said to them, "This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. Truly, I say to you, I shall not drink again of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I will go before you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Even though they all fall away, I will not." Jesus said to him, "Truly, I say to you, this very night, before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. But he said vehemently, "If I must die with you, I will not deny you." And they all said the same. They went to a place which was called Gethsemane. He said to his disciples, "Sit here, while I pray." He took with him Peter, James, and John, and began to be greatly distressed and troubled. He said to them, "My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch." Going a little farther, he fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me. Yet not what I will but what you will." He came and found them sleeping. He said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not watch 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And again he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy. They did not know what to answer him. He came the third time and said to them, "You still sleeping and taking your rest? It is enough. The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." Immediately, while he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a crowd with swords and clubs from the chief priests, scribes, and elders. Now the betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "The one I shall kiss is the man. Seize him and lead him away under guard." When he came, he went up to him at once, and said, "Master." He kissed him. Then they laid hands on him and seized him. But one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the slave of the high priest and cut off his ear. Jesus said to them, "Have you come out as against a robber, with swords and clubs to capture me? Day after day I was with you in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me. But let the scriptures be fulfilled." And his disciples all forsook him and fled. A young man followed him, with nothing but a linen cloth about his body. They seized him. But he left the linen cloth and ran away naked. They led Jesus to the high priest. All the chief priests, elders, and scribes were assembled. Peter had followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. He was sitting with the guards and warming himself at the fire. Now the chief priests and the whole council sought testimony against Jesus to put him to death. Yet they found none. For many bore false witness against him. But their witness did not agree. Some stood up and bore false witness against him, saying, "We heard him say, 'I will destroy this temple that is made with hands, and in 3 days I will build another, not made with hands.' Yet not even so did their testimony agree." The high priest stood up in the midst, and asked Jesus, "Have you no answer to make? What is it that these men testify against you?" But he was silent and made no answer. Again, the high priest asked him, "You the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus said, "I am. You will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his garments and said, "Why do we still need witnesses? You have heard his blasphemy. What is your decision?" And they all condemned him as deserving death. Some began to spit on him, cover his face, and to strike him, saying to him, "Prophesy." The guards received him with blows. As Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the maids of the high priest came. After seeing Peter warming himself, she looked at him, and said, "You also were with the Nazarene, Jesus." But he denied it, saying, "I neither know nor understand what you mean." And he went out into the gateway. The maid saw him and began again to say to the bystanders, "This man is one of them." But again, he denied it. After a little while again the bystanders said to Peter, "Certainly you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." But he began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear, "I do not know this man of whom you speak." Immediately the cock crowed a second time. Peter remembered how Jesus had said to him, "Before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And he broke down and wept.